Afternoon. I am live streaming again. It's kind of becoming a habit. I kind of like it. So anyway, I'm going to get the audio portion going here, and then we're going to have another great pairing. So hang on just a second. You might be able to hear this in the background. It's in my ears, but I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but we're hoping. So I'm trying to get there. All right. Here we go. Hey, Stoners. Welcome to another edition of Sticks-n-Stones. I am your host, Brent Elrod, and today I am going to be pairing the M81 Blackened by Drew Estates with El Padrino Anejo Tequila. Yep, we're going with tequila today. I haven't done a tequila in a while. I kind of thought it was due, and this kind of looked like a good one. So I really do think you need to kind of prepare yourself for it's kind of a flavor explosion. I want to remind you that the links to the spirit and the cigar will be in the description of the audio. So when you listen to those of you that are on live stream and you listen to the audio in a few days, find out all the particulars of the last half. You'll have a link there so you can, while you're listening, you can go shop. So I'm very excited about this pairing. I think it's going to be great. I've been kind of hanging on to this M81 for a while, and I finally felt like I wanted to get it out today. So right after this, we are going to pop the cork, cut the stick, and get to toasting. Now, let's go ahead and start with the star of the show. The Blackened M81 cigar is handcrafted by the masters at Drew Estates. You know, Drew Estates is one of my top 2 or 3 brands. I love what Drew Estates puts out, and this particular stick, it just boasts all kinds of qualities. A dark, oily wrapper that promises to be robust and complex and have a great flavor profile. Actually, Drew partnered with Blackened American Whiskey, which in and of itself was a collaboration between James Hetfield. Those of you that know your 80s metal, you'll know that James Hetfield is one of the founding members of Metallica. That's where the M81 gets its name from. M, Metallica, 81, as in 1981, when the group launched. So it was a collaboration between James Hetfield and Sweet Amber Distilling. This particular stick is a Robusto 5x50 on the ring gauge. Its origin is Nicaragua. It was, as we mentioned with Drew Estates, the factory was La Grande Fabrica, Drew Estate. The filler, it's kind of peculiar, is Nicaraguan and U.S. Pennsylvania Green River 1 sucker. Now that's somebody knew what they were doing when they named that particular tobacco leaf. They're both Maduros. The binder is also from the U.S. It is a Connecticut River Valley broadleaf that is also Maduro. And the wrapper, ding, ding, ding. Can anybody guess what the wrapper is? The wrapper is a beautiful Mexican San Andres. This was released about a year ago, November of 2022, and it is regular production. So it looks like it's going to be around for a while. So visually, it is kind of a little bit more, I'll hold it up here to the camera so you can see it. It is a little bit kind of rougher exterior, I guess you'd say, a little more rugged stick. It has tight yet visible seams. It's got minimal veining, but the veins that's on it are fairly pronounced. You can see them really well. You can feel them under your fingers. It's got a little hint of tooth And I think I mentioned, and you can see it's a really dark chocolate brown. Um, and they kept the banding very simple. There's the foot band, and there's the top band. Not not going for a huge pop from the banding, but I like it. It works well. Um, on the nose, I get some hints of like stone fruit or other drupes. And if you know what those, I may not be pronouncing it exactly right, but you're talking about plums, cherries, peaches, things that fruits that have a pit. They're not seeded, as opposed to like berries that have multiple seeds inside. Uh, but I'm also getting black pepper and kind of a oakiness. Mm, let's give it a cut. What cut are we using? Well, we're using the Cassetti multi-cutter, and I don't want to do. I know I did a guillotine cut the other day, and then yesterday when I did the live stream, I did a V cut. And I'm gonna go with the V cut again today. No, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna punch cut it. Oh, in case I didn't mention it, this has a very large and well-positioned double cap. Some people will tell you not to wet the end of the cigar, that you're a newbie if you wet the end of the cigar before you cut it, but I think it just makes it easier to cut. So, to each his own, right? Perfectly little punched hole in the butt end of the cigar, the ass end, if you will. I get a kind of a moist earthiness. Like I could describe maybe the not rainforest, but like up in the northeast of the United States in Washington and Oregon, they got all kinds of like ferns growing and everything, and it's real dense, heavy wooded, kind of that moist earth. If you like pulled a plant up or turned over a shovel full of dirt, I think most of you probably know what I'm talking about. But that's the first thing that I get, and then kind of behind that is chocolate and some coffee and just a hint of black pepper. Good cigar. I'm going to go ahead while I've got it in my hand. I'm going to go ahead and remove the foot band. The foot band is very, very well attached. Good construction on this cigar all the way around. And Jonathan, dude, maybe not quite so much adhesive on that. I had to tear it into all kinds of little pieces to get it off there, but I got it. All right. Now, let's bring out the Co-Star, the perfect counterpart to this, and that is El Padrino Anejo Tequila. It is aged for a minimum of 12 months in oak barrels. This particular tequila is known for its kind of deep amber color, as those of you on the live stream can see, uh, and it's got a supposed to have a velvety texture. Now we'll see about that. Um, Let me go ahead and glass this up. Holy cow! I paused the audio and I apologize for my unprofessionalism, but I got everything out here except a glass. So talk amongst yourselves for about 30 seconds. I am back. I did that a couple of weeks ago too. I'm a combat veteran from Iraq, and I have PTSD. And one of the main symptoms I have is short-term memory problems. So I think I have everything, but if I don't go back a few times and make sure, I end up out here with no glass. So we're back. And all right, let's go ahead and glass some of this up and see what it has to offer. Wow, tight, tight, tight. Nice cork top. All right, here we go. All right. Wow, as that tequila was just kind of cascading into the glass, I could already get some whiffs of the just enticing aromas that were filling the air. And that's just hinting at the rewards that are coming. All right. Now, as I said, this is El Padrino. El Padrino is, the distillery is El Padrino de mi Tierra, and I may have butchered that all up. It is in the Jalisco region of Mexico, and the agave region is Los Altos and to the Tequila Valley in Jalisco. So it's all right there in that same little state, I guess, if you will. As I said, the region is Jalisco. Cooking is done in stone and brick ovens, autoclave, high pressure. The extraction is by roller mill, and the fermenting takes place in stainless steel tanks, and it's 100% agave. The distillation is 2 times distilled in stainless steel pot stills. That's a lot to get out. And it is 40% AB alcohol by volume. So it's 80 proof. And as I mentioned earlier, it is aged in American white oak barrels. Man, I had company. All right. Now, visually, as you can see, if you're watching on the live stream, I would say this is a little bit lighter than an amber color. To me, it is just a beautiful light golden. It's got good legs, clings to the glass very well. On the nose, it's not overpowering. You're not getting a big waft of alcohol. It's very subtle. I get vanilla and caramel, oak, and then it kind of starts. Those are kind of the main aromas that you're getting, but then it kind of falls off, and in lesser quantity, you have like black pepper and cinnamon. All right, I'm going in. My mouth is just watering from all of this. This is just amazing. It's a very, very approachable spirit. The 80 proof. It does not have a ton of alcohol burn. Really, it's more on the back end, more like spicy black pepper. But much like the nose, you do get some cooked agave, but then you have the vanilla and the caramel and the oak that I spoke about in the nose, and then, like I said, a significant amount of black pepper at the end, but it's not like a overpowering black pepper. You just get a nice little burn right along the outside edge of your tongue, and then it fades away. This is a really good tequila. It may be one of the best sippers that I've had. My tequila experience is limited to mostly, the big time brands. But in doing my research with El Padrona, or El Padrino, uh, I did find that. I mean, I think this was ranked like 95 by, the professional folks. That is, I mean, that is almost so smooth and easy drinking that it's dangerous. You'd be like, oh yeah, give me a whole glass of that. That's really good. I could drink a lot of that. And then you wind up waking up the next morning wanting to know where your keys are. So be careful. Tequila will sneak up on you. Wow. Now that I've sat here and just sipped on it like crazy, I'm going to have to put a little more in the glass. Not a lot. Half a shot maybe. Just so I've got enough to get into the stick. All right. Here we go. We're going to ignite the M81. And I'm, as always, using my Rocky Patel 5 torch. I'm using the 5 torch because I don't like the long drawn out. I hold the cigar and the lighter a fairly good distance away from each other, but the flame from the Rocky does a wonderful job of just kissing the tip of the cigar and awakening it to its full potential. Shit. I damn near caught my microphone on fire. It's still smoking. That'd make for a very interesting episode. I can say right off that it's not as smoky as most of the other Drew Estate products. Most of the Drew Estate lines just produce huge volumes of smoke. This one is not like that, but it's not bad. I'm getting notes of kind of a dark chocolate and some coffee and maybe some leather in there. Getting some retro black pepper in the retro inhale. All right, let's try them together. Man, as I was bringing the glass up, it's hard to quell my eagerness and savor the anticipation. You have to kind of make yourself wait for it just a little bit. That makes it all the better. It's like that about a lot of things. So, but as I was taking a sip, I'd just taken a good draw off the cigar, and the smoothness of the sip just kind of washes over my palate and starts intertwining with the flavors off of the cigar, and they just kind of, I don't know. Hey, let's go all out with descriptions. They dance harmoniously over my tongue with the tequila's caramel and vanilla and oak, mixing with the coffee and the chocolate off the stick. And I hope I'm being very descriptive so you can really get a feeling of what this experience is like. The fusion of flavors is Let me think about this. The fusion of flavors and the sensations in my mouth and olfactory senses, we got to throw that in there, and olfactory senses is creating an ultimate taste explosion. How did I do? If I didn't describe that well enough, then you're probably not listening well enough. And when I first started, when I first lit it and started to burn, I thought it was going to have a fairly significant dip in it, but I haven't done anything, and it has pretty much straightened itself right on up. So, may have just been the product of a bad person lighting it. You know, I mean, I think I'm pretty experienced in lighting cigars, though. I think this is going to be a very good pairing. I mean, I've been somewhat kind of overwhelmed in all my senses trying to make sure I describe this correctly. I'm at the point now I think I need a cigarette. You know, and just kind of lay back for a moment. So, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to burn this down to the halfway mark, and I will come back and give you an update. All right, I got my iPad out here. For those of you on the live stream, you know, I kind of overshare with you guys. But I have my iPad out here, kind of has my notes on it, you know, what I want to make sure I talk about, or I'll forget things like I forgot the glass. I mean, I need a checklist. Really. Did you get a glass? Sure. Everybody gets a glass to drink out of. No, I forgot it. And then I nearly set my microphone on fire. So, you know, that is the joys of live stream. You can't, like on the audio, they won't know any of that glass stuff because I hit pause and I went and fixed it, got a glass. But you guys, you got the public service announcement. Hey, we'll return in 30 seconds, talk amongst yourselves. But anyway, I got my iPad out here with my notes on it, but I also am running my satellite radio in the background. I can hear it in my ears. I don't know if you can hear it or not. I'll go back and listen later. But and I try to keep it low because I don't want I just want to hear it. I don't necessarily want it for the show. I just sit out here and talk to you, and I you know, stare at the same fence and pool and trees. So it's just nice to have a little something in the background I can hear. Not that it helps my attention any, because I have a hard enough time keeping my attention. Yeah, I mean, you know, I said that this is not quite like the other Drew products as far as the volume of smoke, and it is really more it's more of a check of quality. I don't say quality because this is a really good cigar, but it's what you're used to with Drew. It's just this huge volume of smoke. This particular stick, while if you compared it to other manufacturers, might keep up very well with it. But when you compare it to other Drew products, it's just not quite as much smoke coming off of it. But it's a decent volume, and I really love the small band. I won't even take that off. I'll just burn it down to the band. You know, I did the Camacho Triple Maduro yesterday, and the band on it was like that wide. It took up most of the cigar. If you haven't seen it, go watch that episode. It was really good, or listen to it. The live stream is out there, but again, I only do the live stream until I get to the halfway mark, and then I have to burn it down. I just can't keep talking unless some of you are giving me something to talk about. Hit me up in the chat. Let me know what you think. Hey, you're a dumbass for getting a glass. You set your microphone on fire, really? You know, it's hard for me to just continue talking for 30 minutes or an hour. And now that we're down in to the stick a little. And it's got that wave has come back. I mean, it's got now a pretty decent wave in it. But you notice that, I mean, that's really, really nice stacks of ash. Love Drew Estates, and they do some of the best cigars on the planet, in my opinion. And always remember, cigars and spirits, it's opinion. My opinion may differ from your opinion, and my opinion may line up with this person's opinion. Uh, you know, it's all relative to you. So you try one and be like, well, I didn't taste any of what you tasted. We're all different. I'm going to go ahead and touch this up. I don't like doing that, but I just want to see if touching it up will fix it. It bothers me when they get big waves in them like that. And it's not an overpowering cigar. You would think with all the dark tobacco leaves in it that it would be, like overpowering. It's not. It's really subtle and smooth. And I think the El Padrino is the perfect complement to it because it is not overpowering either. There's not a lot of alcohol burn in it. There's not a lot of just a massive amount of spice on the back end of it where it's like making your eyes water or whatever. It's really, really smooth. I would say it's just in being smooth, similar to like a flavored rum, like coconut rum, that's like 45 proof or 50 proof. It's very easy drinking. This is far more easy drinking than most of the whiskeys I've had. If I thought about it long enough, I could think of a few that might compete with it. But it is a different kind of spirit. And today, I am wearing my Fanatics Texas A&M shirt from Fanatics.com. One of the folks that we are affiliated with. I'm a huge Aggie fan, but they have dozens of college teams, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer, all kinds. I think they even have some like musical artists and stuff like their T-shirts and stuff. So I can't remember, but I think I remember a link for that on their webpage. And if you go to the Sticks-n-Stonez.com, STICKSNSTONEZ.com, you'll see a link to their website. Click the link, go out there and look at all the different sports memorabilia they have for you. Great folks, great folks. Speaking of great folks, Freedom Fatigues and Caliber Coffee. Those are veteran-owned businesses. Again, Sticks-n-Stonez.com. Click the link to them. I used to own a coffee house. I've probably said this a dozen times since I married up with Caliber Coffee. But I used to own a coffee house, and I roasted my own coffee beans. So I'm not a big hot coffee drinker. I prefer iced stuff. But I can tell the differences. Like to me, the best tasting single origin coffee, so it's just all from one country or whatever, is Kenya Double A. It's a really bright, crisp cup, not overpowering. And of course, it takes all of I like adding, stevia and stuff to it. But just to take a teaspoon of it and, suck it in your mouth and wash it around a little bit, it's one of the best I've had. And then I had a blend that you can no longer get that I got from a wholesaler up in Washington State, and I called it the Leaping Goat blend coffee, and that was delicious. That was probably the best blended coffee I've ever had. But Caliber Coffee is right up there. They don't have single origins. All of theirs are blends, and everything is in, like bullets. So you got the 22 caliber, the 9 millimeter, the 44 Magnum, and the bigger the round gets, the more bold the coffee is, spirit is. Um, and the 22 caliber, I love lighter roasted coffees. I think it opens up the flavors more, and it's delicious. Go to their website. They got K cups for your big name brewer. They've got ground coffee. They've got whole bean. And as a former coffee house owner, you should be buying whole bean. Don't buy ground. Get a grinder. They're very inexpensive. Grind it yourself. Uh, when you grind it, it's going to start losing flavor. So the longer it stays in the bag, the less flavor it's going to have. So there you go. There's a PSA on coffee. And then Freedom Fatigues. Freedom Fatigues, they sell patriotic T-shirts, the Gadsden flag snake, the come and take it Gonzalez flag. I was wearing that T-shirt yesterday. Hats, shirts, men, women, other accessories like tumbler bottles and stuff like that. Flasks. Everybody needs a good flask. So again, sticksandstones.com. Click on the Freedom Fatigues link, take you over there. And if you use Sticks and Stones, all crammed together, just like you're typing it into the webpage, Sticks and Stones 20, you get 20% off when you use that pay code, and you get great stuff and 20% off. So that's how it is. I will say that it is picking up in smoke volume as we go down, and I think you can probably see. I really don't see a lot of change in the flavor profile, but you can tell how that ash went from kind of a light gray to almost a stark white. You can see the division between them. And about that time, started picking up on smoke volume. I don't want to let this ash go for too long. Yesterday, if any of you were watching, it dropped all over the soundboard. I was freaking out because I was afraid that the ash was going to mess up my soundboard. It got all over my clothes. Yeah. But that is really, I can't say it enough. That is really a great tequila. With the, there's in a lot of ways, it is like pairing a whiskey. It's a lot of vanilla, a lot of caramel. Uh, you get on the palate, you get the cooked agave. I didn't notice it in the nose, but maybe that's just me. But then you also have, because it was aged in American white oak barrels, you get a little bit of oak, and if it is, it's really good, very approachable. You you do not have to be a hard liquor drinker to drink this. It is very smooth. I prefer my stuff be on the rocks. For purposes of the show, it's always neat. I could drink this neat. Yeah, I mean it's really good, and it's not like an apple crown. It's not flavored. This is just how well they're doing it. And this is the anejo. Now that I've had this, I think I'll probably want to step up and try the extra anejo that's been aged for over 3 years and see what that does. Because and if it gets aging, usually smooths it, and if it smooths out anymore, be like drinking water. Yeah, so far the stick still. I mean, we're probably a third of the way in. This is where most reviewers would probably be telling you, okay, we're at a third of the way, and giving you an update. I tend to break it into halves. The first half and the second half. I I mean, I think I probably overload you with too much information anyway, but we'll go ahead and drop that off so it doesn't drop on me. Uh, but I just think it works better that way. you know. So, but again, personal choice. I don't know anybody else that's doing a first half, second half. They're all breaking it into thirds. And I think it's probably because everybody else does it that way, but I've always kind of colored outside the lines. Wow, and the retro in that though, I did, it's like a brief second, I got some like berries, maybe blackberries, strawberries, that kind of thing. That was a surprise. It kind of shocked me for a second. And I wasn't really expecting the retro. It just kind of happened. So picked up a little leather there too. This is really a great cigar, man. Jonathan Drew does it again, and this time he did it heavy metal style. I get to smoking on the cigar and I forget about the glass over here. I need some of y'all to like give me a poke or a heart or something like that and be like, hey, take a drink. I normally just like go-to cigars are either like one of the coffee infused Java or Tabak Special, something like that. Just, you know, when I'm out here just sitting around, uh, or a Rocky Patel. There's so many of his that I like. The Rocky Patel 60 is great. But this fits into that category. I could just take one of these out of the humidor at any time and come out here and fire it up and smoke it. To be as dark as it is, it's a very uh, it's a very mild cigar. I will say it is in, you know, and I don't mean that it's mild, but it's not, you normally would expect the darker wrappers and the darker tobaccos to be a lot stronger. And I would say this fits more into the medium category. It's a great cigar. And I'll mention again, I did at the beginning and I'm going to do it now and I'll do it at the end. There will be a link in the show description to Cigars International, to this cigar. You click that link, you'll go straight to this cigar. And the same thing with Total Wine. You'll go straight to El Padrino Anejo. And so that way, as you're listening to the last half, you can be pulling up those and be like, yeah, I'm going to order some of that. I think I'm the only one that does that. So tell your friends, man, you can be ordering stuff off Cigars International's website while he's reviewing it for you. Doesn't get any better than that. Doesn't get any better. Oh, here we go. Now my phone's probably going to smell like smoke. Oh well, doesn't bother me. Cigar smoke doesn't bother me. Cigarette smoke, I don't really like that. No. Like going into somebody's house and they smoke in the house and it just smells like stale cigarettes. I don't like that. And I picked up smoking cigars. Hang on, I gotta take a different kind of drink. I started smoking cigars in 2004, so I'm about 19 years in, and I was 35 at the time. Uh, my dad was a smoker. He smoked cigarettes, but he always tried to hide it, even though we all knew about it. I mean, he goes outside, he's gone 20 minutes. He doesn't leave the property, but he comes back in and he smells like cigarettes. Did it just magically appear on him? Did he, you know? And so my mom was always afraid that Me and my brother would pick the habit up, and he did. I haven't. I do cigars. This is probably the most cigars I've smoked in a week in years, and I think I've smoked 3. So if it wasn't for you guys and me wanting to create a good product for you, there could be weeks go by that I not, if it's too cold or too hot, or it's hard to get out here when it's like 35 degrees or when it's 135 degrees and do a show. That's why I want the bar. I want to have a bar shed out here. And then I can go in there, have lighting, have the sound material, and I can do a really professional job for you guys. That's what I'm shooting for. Can't get Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez on board with the bar shed. I'm trying though. I keep hinting at it. That is really good, and it doesn't have a lot of a really lot of finish on it. It's got, you get some black pepper and maybe a little bit of oak, but I mean it does not like coat your mouth and hang on forever. To me, I prefer it not to. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy that, and then I'm ready for the next puff. It's not like I'm drawing it out longer and longer. And this has been 42 minutes. We're 42 minutes in, and I'm getting to about the halfway mark. This is going to be an hour and 15-minute cigar, so that's pretty good. If you got the time, it could be even longer. I mean, I could see somebody that is just kind of attending the cigar, putting it down, doing whatever, coming back, pick it back up, another puff or two, put it back down. I can see him spending an hour and a half on it. I typically don't have that kind of time. 45 minutes to an hour is about it for me. I said that and it almost shot out of my mouth. It was like, you SOB. Again, don't want to get caught by the Big Brother police. One more drink for you guys. All right. Well, I'm nearing the halfway mark. I'm going to go ahead and burn this down the rest of the way. I thank all of you for watching, and the audio will post. Actually, this particular one is not going to post until next week. What's today? Today's the 3rd. After the 10th. So, because I'm doing 2 this weekend, I'm actually able to kind of get ahead. I was a little behind this last week, and I didn't like it. I felt pressured, and this is about enjoyment. So, if I'm a week ahead, then I can, I can enjoy it because I want to enjoy it with you guys. So, until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry and your stones cold.